Last week was a tale of two groups. On one hand, you had three drivers who drove with purpose, precision, and focus. On the other hand, you had three drivers who were each fighting a battle with either their car, each other, or the track. One group will advance while the other took a very, very hard weight off of Team Kamikaze's driver Stray Dog. Only two groups are left to run, and tonight we find out who will face the spikes. Gray comes from the center of the constellation Ursa Major. His lush world has been a refuge for many who have sought the safety and sanctity of the Ursa's population. However, don't let their hospitality and cuddly demeanor fool you, as anyone who has crossed paths with an Ursus will attest. One wrong move risks absolute mauling. Scotty, the high-flying playboy from Lux, is back at the Freezie in his beautiful Erkenstein rod named Rockenstein. This time the socialite has opted for power and strength in his car versus speed and agility. He has foregone the champagne and festivities as well, as his only goal this time around is to drink from the chalice. With the Techmordian civilization vanished, and the memory of Earth that was fading, Lone Star has been busy making his new homeworld of Delta Arius inhabitable. The terraforming has taken time, which is why Lone Star invented this, the Terraforma, a race truck that helps turn arid hunks of rock into lush green paradises. Three dramatically different takes on what a race truck is. Group 5 goes right now. Race 1 is chock full of disappointment for each of these drivers. Upon gate drop, it looks like Scotty rides Lone Star into the rails and he scrubs all his speed, but if you look at Gray here, he just gets a weird wobble coming off of that one whoop and turtles it just at the jump, getting in front of both Lone Star and Scotty. They're all going to have to settle for 5 and reset for race 2. Race 2 is a much better result for these drivers. Out of the gate, you can see Lone Star and Gray get together, and then that pushes Lone Star into Scotty. Scotty and Lone Star then go wheel to the jump where Scotty's just ahead. Unfortunately for Gray, I think his short wheelbase with those massive tires isn't doing him any favors as he face plants and spins out, leaving Lone Star and Scotty a chance to dash for the finish line. It's a good race as Lone Star is just behind Scotty, but coming to the line, Scotty actually gets a little bit of his speed rubbed over on the berm, allowing Lone Star to come across the line for a huge score of 11 points. Scotty will still collect 10, but unfortunately Gray is going to have to settle for another 5. This lap is all Lone Star as the man from Delta Aries says bye-bye to his competition, who both crash and spin out in the top half of the course. Lone Star has a wide open lane and he takes it right to the bottom for 11 points and puts a cap on this qualifier in round 1. And it's going to be a heartache for both Scotty and Gray as they're only going to be able to collect 2. Now how is this going to impact their final scores? The expectation for success on these drivers is immense, and we know Zarnocks is sitting in that last place, and it's not going to change. Lone Star puts up a 27 points, which ties him with Arlo, and Scotty is just on the bubble with his 17 behind King Jester. Gray, on the other hand, survives as he puts up 12 and keeps Zarnocks in that last place position. Only 3 drivers remain, so let's find out who lines up in Group 6. Still trying to find new ways to broker peace across the cosmos, Old Sarge set up racing schools to teach young racers the way of the apex. The first graduate is Blitzer. He arrives in his Red Wrath, ready, willing, and able to do whatever is necessary to maintain balance and order in the universe, even if that means making some enemies in the process. The legendary builders from Oparnia have returned to the Freezie with one mission: defend their royal honor, seeing how their liege fell short of the goal last year. Their message will be delivered by courier number 7429 in the mighty Semisphere, one of the most powerful trucks Moparnia has to offer. When Nova arrived to work on the mining planet RF-1, she had no idea that her life was about to take a major left turn. Unbeknownst to her, the orb, which had lain dormant for eons, had awoken and chosen its next symbiont. It is said that the truck and orb are one and the same, until they're not. Group 6 will close out round 1, and one of these things is unlike the other. The race goes right now. The scale of Nova and Dr. Dodge are impressive, and I feel for Blitzer because his car looks tiny in comparison. However, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and even though Dr. Dodge gets ahead at the jump, he can't handle the landing and gets absolutely smacked out of the way by Nova's massive dump truck. It's a highlight reel move worthy of a second look. As we see, Dr. Dodge goes over into the berm, and Nova just absolutely makes sure she gets her dump truck across the line for 11 points. I'm pretty sure Dr. Dodge wasn't expecting that. He'll settle for 6, and Blitzer, well, he's going to have to figure out how to find more speed. And I hate to say it, but I think Blitzer is dramatically overmatched. The gate comes down and you can see Dr. Dodge bully Blitzer right into the wall, allowing him to get ahead at the jump. But again, just like in race 1, he can't stick that landing and he throws it over. Fortunately for him this time, he gets in front of Nova, stopping her dead in her tracks. They'll both score 6 while Blitzer's left scratching his head as to how he can get around these two bullies. And just when Blitzer thought he had a free run, he gets bullied once again by the big dump truck of Nova. You can see at the jump here, Nova actually bounces off Dr. Dodge and then off of Blitzer, putting Blitzer into a spin and allowing Nova and Dr. Dodge both to get across the line. They'll score big, but it's unfortunately Blitzer who loses out once again as his small ride just can't compete. The wait and anticipation are over. There were only 3 drivers left to see if Zarnock had a different fate, but the racing gods obviously had different plans. Nova and her orb drive away with the second highest score of 28. Dr. Dodge will squeak into the second round, with a 22 knocking King Jester into the oblivion. Blitzer scores a 16, which makes Zarnock at 11 points our last place driver. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Zarnock, the butcher of the Crystal Caves, the once fearsome conqueror of the cosmos, has entered his last tournament. The stories of his reign will be told for generations as those under his iron fist have suddenly become free. But now the focus shifts. Now, in addition to prizes and glory, teams will compete to be the one to give Zarnock to the gods. Round 2 goes next week, where the points that were collected in Round 1 will be used to determine the seeding. Until then, this has been the Freezie500. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Seriously, where am I? It's like I'm in a box locked away in a basement somewhere in Buffalo, New York.
Come with me.
Ah! Mr. Dark? You scared the crap out of me.
Come with me if you want to live.